The American people doesn't see the Muslim victim side story. They just see the Muslim as an aggressor. Here they are just a victim.
There's a Muslim community building a mosque for them to pray to their God, and it burns to the ground. And these people are upset.
We were relying on our belief that it's God's house from the ground up, and He will protect it. I came from a farming background. My family back home in Pakistan was farmers. My grandfather here, they were farmers. And I grew up in the farming community. This has been in our family since 1956, actually. That's when our grandfathers bought it originally. It's all God's land, and He gave it to us, and if we give Him a part of it, that's not difficult at all. The mosque's ground is 5 acres, which was split out of this particular block right here. I donated that back in early 1990s.
Khalid Saeed is a prosperous Yuba County farmer who's been in the area since the 50s. He raised his family here, and he had a dream to build a beautiful mosque that beckoned to Muslims far and wide. So he donated 5 acres of his property along Tierra Buena Road, and with 200 other Muslims, started work on the mosque 8 years ago.
You have a community that is primarily made up of farm labor that donated a tremendous amount of money.
99% of the people that helped build this mosque were laborers, farm laborers. There were no professionals except for a few farmers. They sacrificed their own standards of living, I would say, to help build this mosque.
The mosque cost about $1.8 million, if memory serves me correctly. That was $1.8 million that was gathered in tens and twenties and hundreds and, thousands. It was truly out of a sense of religion and intention of getting a mosque built.
People were volunteering just to be able to say that they did something on the mosque, put their, hard labor and sweat into it.
And they didn't just buy a church and convert it. They didn't just use a little house. No, they built a mosque that was in traditional style of a mosque. As a Muslim community, they're now saying, here we are, we have a stake in life here. This is who we are as Muslims and Americans. This is our home.
The people that complained about it, that were opposed to the project, I think the biggest thing, they didn't know them very well, they didn't understand what they were, and they were opposed to it out of the fact that they thought these people were going to do something different than they do.
They were part of the community, but yet they still had a lot of their culture that they brought with them, and that culture clashed with a lot of other people because they were so different.
When you get somebody that's adamantly opposed to something you're doing, if they get crazy enough, they'll do crazy things.
A woman that lived around the corner from the mosque called my house. She's in hysterics.
I got a phone call, I think before midnight, and we just woke up in panic.
My neighbor, he stopped at the house and said, there's a fire going on over at the mosque.
Saying the mosque is on fire. You're kidding. I ran to the front door, and then I could see it.
Approximately 4 miles away, I could see the red glow in the sky. I knew we had something really big going.
I was just horrified to see this thing just burning like nobody's business.
You're just seeing fire coming everywhere, and you're putting water on it, and it's doing nothing.
And the kids were crying and tears coming down our cheeks, and why us, why this happened.
It just took minutes for the whole structure to just collapse. It was unthinkable. I couldn't believe it was happening.